From a small town girl with a guitar to one of the most powerful women on the planet, her lyrics turned heartbreak into poetry, her albums turned stories into history, and her name became a global phenomenon. This is the story of Taylor Swift, a musician, a business genius, and a cultural icon who built an empire on authenticity, art, and ambition. Over 200 million records sold, billions of streams, and a net worth crossing $1 billion. But her greatest power isn't just fame, it's influence. So how did a teenage dreamer from Pennsylvania become the most influential artist of her generation? Let's rewind the story of Taylor Swift, the woman who turned her life into the world's favorite song. Taylor Swift, the global power of a pop icon. Taylor Allison Swift was born on December 13th, 1989, in Reading, Pennsylvania. A small-town girl with big dreams and an even bigger imagination. She grew up on a Christmas tree farm, surrounded by nature, animals, and music. Even as a child, she had a gift for storytelling. While other kids played outside, Taylor was filling notebooks with poems and songs. At just 11 years old, she performed the national anthem at a basketball game, and it was clear to everyone. This girl had something special. By the age of 14, Taylor convinced her parents to move to Nashville, the heart of country music. Her parents believed in her so deeply, they sold their home and relocated to support her dream. After countless rejections, she signed with a small label, Big Machine Records. In 2006, she released her debut album, simply titled Taylor Swift. The single Tim McGraw introduced her to the world, a heartfelt country song written by a teenager that captured the emotions of millions. Taylor Swift was no longer just a dreamer. She was the new voice of country music. In 2008, Taylor released her second album, Fearless. It wasn't just an album, it was a global breakout moment. Fearless became a worldwide success, winning 4 Grammy Awards, including Album of the Year. Songs like Love Story and You Belong With Me turned her into a household name. She was no longer just a country star, she was America's sweetheart. But Taylor wasn't content to stay in one lane. Her sound began evolving, blending country roots with mainstream pop energy. Her next albums, Speak Now and Red, showed her songwriting at its peak. Heartbreak, growth, and maturity told through melodies the whole world could sing along to. Then came the 2009 MTV Video Music Awards, an unforgettable moment. As Taylor accepted her first VMA, Kanye West stormed the stage, interrupting her speech. That incident became one of pop culture's most viral moments. Overnight, Taylor Swift's name was everywhere, and whether people loved or criticized her, everyone was talking about her. Instead of breaking under pressure, she rose higher. What could have been her downfall became the spark that made her unstoppable. By 2014, Taylor Swift was ready to make history again. With the release of 1989, she didn't just step into pop, she owned it. 1989 marked a full pop reinvention. Bright synths, bold visuals, and a fearless new attitude. The album won Grammy Album of the Year and sold over 10 million copies worldwide. Taylor became more than a musician. She became a movement. Her connection with fans, known as the Swifties, redefined artist-fan relationships. From secret listening sessions in her own home to personal replies on Tumblr and Instagram, she built a digital empire of loyalty and love. But fame comes with a price. After years of public scrutiny and media drama, Taylor vanished from the spotlight, only to return in 2017 with a vengeance. Her Reputation era was bold, dark, and unapologetic. A comeback story wrapped in empowerment. Taylor took control of her image, her narrative, and her power. The message was clear. She would no longer be defined by anyone else. Then came the Lover era, colorful, romantic, and optimistic. But the pandemic changed everything, and Taylor turned isolation into art. In 2020, she released Folklore and Evermore, 2 surprise albums that showcased a new level of maturity, poetic, introspective, and deeply human. She traded stadiums for storytelling, and critics called it her finest work yet. Then, in 2022, Midnights reminded the world she could still dominate the charts, breaking streaming records and earning global acclaim. From country sweetheart to pop powerhouse, Taylor Swift reinvented herself again and again, not just surviving the industry, but redefining it. Behind the music and the fame lies one of the most brilliant business minds in entertainment history. Taylor Swift isn't just a pop star, she's a billion-dollar brand. As of 2025, Taylor's net worth is estimated at over $1.3 billion. And what makes that number historic is that she became the first artist to reach billionaire status purely through her music. No fashion line, no tech company, just songwriting, touring, and ownership. Her empire includes a stunning collection of properties: a penthouse in New York City, a Nashville mansion, a Rhode Island beachfront estate, and a Los Angeles home, each one a reflection of her journey from country girl to global icon. But Taylor's smartest move came after a betrayal, when her former label sold the master recordings of her first 6 albums without her consent. Instead of backing down, Taylor fought back by re-recording all her old albums, now labeled Taylor's version. It wasn't just about music. It was about ownership, power, and principle. She turned a loss into one of the greatest comebacks in music business history. Then came the Eras Tour, a cultural event, a global phenomenon, and the highest-grossing tour of all time, surpassing $1 billion in revenue. Every show, every era, every note became part of something bigger, a business empire built on passion, connection, and creative control. Taylor Swift didn't just rewrite her songs, she rewrote the rules of the music industry. Off stage, the story of Taylor Swift is one of loyalty, reinvention, and an unmistakable sense of identity. She's known for her storytelling, not just in songs, but in how she lives. Taylor has long cherished her privacy. Yes, she writes about relationships, but she also draws firm lines around what she shares. Her past relationships have been public, but always told on her terms. From Joe Jonas to Jake Gyllenhaal, Calvin Harris to Tom Hiddleston, her high-profile romances at times became part of her art, part of the story she told through song. Her most enduring public relationship was with actor Joe Alwyn from 2016 to 2023, a deep, comparatively private chapter in her life and one that inspired music rather than headlines. In August 2025, Taylor announced her engagement to NFL star Travis Kelce. Their relationship began in 2023 and has quickly captured the world's attention with its blend of pop culture and sports spectacle. This marks a new chapter, one she seems both ready for and excited about. Despite the glitz, Taylor embraces simple joys. Her 3 cats, Olivia Benson, Meredith Grey, and Benjamin Button, have become global icons themselves, symbolizing her grounded side amid global superstardom. Her fashion is the same blend. Vintage meets modern, feminine meets strong. From red carpet gowns to relaxed off-duty style, Taylor's aesthetic says, "I'm timeless, but I'm also now." She owns multiple properties. Yet for someone with billions of dollars and a global career, her everyday life still seems to be guided by storytelling. The girl who grew up on a Christmas tree farm, the New York penthouse, the Nashville roots, the Rhode Island beach house, all of it part of a bigger narrative. As of 2025, no children, not married yet, but engaged and clearly in transition. Taylor's story keeps moving forward, and so do we, right alongside her. Next, we'll explore her global influence, how Taylor Swift became more than a singer, she became a force. Few artists in history have reached the kind of global influence Taylor Swift commands today. Her music doesn't just chart, it connects. It crosses languages, cultures, and generations. She's one of the most streamed artists in the world, topping Spotify and Apple Music year after year. Her words resonate from New York to New Delhi, from Rio to Seoul. But Taylor's impact goes beyond the charts. In 2015, she stood up to Apple Music in an open letter demanding fair pay for artists, and Apple changed its policy overnight. She's done the same with Spotify, shaping a new era for musicians' rights in the digital age. Taylor has also found her political voice, encouraging millions of young Americans to register and vote. Her influence on civic engagement among young voters is measurable, historic, and ongoing. For women around the world, she's more than a pop star. She's a symbol of empowerment, authenticity, and independence. Her lyrics remind fans that vulnerability and strength can live in the same heart. At her concerts, languages blend, nationalities disappear, and emotions unite. Whether in Tokyo or Toronto, it's the same magic. A global community built on music, hope, and connection. Taylor Swift's influence isn't limited to a country or a genre. She's not just an American artist, she's a global phenomenon. Every legend faces battles, and Taylor Swift's journey hasn't been without its storms. From the outside, it looked like constant perfection. Sold out tours, Grammys, global fame. But behind the spotlight, Taylor was fighting to control her story. It began with that now infamous 2009 VMA moment. Kanye West interrupting her first major award speech. What followed was years of public tension, online harassment, and a media circus that painted Taylor as everything from a victim to a villain. Then came the Scooter Braun controversy, when her master recordings were sold without her consent. For many artists, that would have been the end of control. But for Taylor Swift, it was the start of a revolution. Her Reputation era was her answer. Bold, unapologetic, and defiant. She turned criticism into art and betrayal into empowerment. Taylor didn't hide. She rebuilt. And through every rumor, every headline, she learned to master the narrative, controlling her image, her words, and her destiny. In an age where media can destroy careers overnight, Taylor Swift became the symbol of resilience, proving that the strongest comeback comes from owning your story, and that resilience would define her legacy, not as a survivor of fame, but as the architect of it. Today, Taylor Swift stands as one of the greatest songwriters of her generation, an artist whose words have shaped a decade, inspired millions, and defined the sound of modern storytelling. From teenage dreams in Nashville to billion-dollar tours around the globe, Taylor's journey isn't just about fame. It's about evolution. Her discography reads like a diary of human emotion, love, heartbreak, forgiveness, and growth. Timeless stories that never age. Her record-breaking tours, from 1989 to the Eras Tour, prove her power isn't just in numbers, it's in connection. Every lyric, every concert, every era becomes a shared experience between artist and audience. Beyond the stage, Taylor uses her influence for good, donating millions to education, disaster relief, and women's rights. She's a proud supporter of the LGBTQ+ community and a strong advocate for equality and creative freedom. And as for the future, Taylor's story is far from over. She's hinted at more re-records, more albums, and even a move into film directing, expanding her artistry in new directions, and maybe someday, a family of her own. But whatever comes next, one thing is certain. Taylor Swift's legacy is already eternal. Not just in music, but in the hearts of everyone she's ever inspired. From a Christmas tree farm in Pennsylvania to sold-out stadiums across the globe, from a teenage girl with a notebook full of dreams to a self-made billionaire who rewrote the music industry, Taylor Swift's story is more than success. It's proof of what happens when talent meets vision and when authenticity beats the noise. She grew, she fell, she rose, and she kept turning her life into music that the world could feel. Taylor Swift didn't just change pop music, she changed the rules of fame itself. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, hit like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring artist journeys.